What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my still finger-banging coach, Josh and John Luke. What's up, guys?
Tagging. We're laser tagging.
Never stop.
Oh, you're laser tagging.
I was paintballing. I don't know. You laser tag all you want, but
paintball versus laser tag. I brought a laser tag gun to a paintball fight.
I think you're screwed, JL. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Yep. I think you understood what you're saying.
Yep.
Also joining us today, back for some mock draft fun on today's show, we've got Pierre Wilson with us. For those of you that do not know Pierre, he's a contributor for Fantasy Impact Today and the host of the DFS Dreamers podcast. Pierre, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me. A lot of action early on. I'm not sure what to do with my hands now.
Lots of energy.
You can do whatever you want with your hands on almost whatever you want with your hands on this show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just greenlight everything that can be done with a hand. That's probably not a good idea. Guys, we got some people in the chat ready for today's mock. Jordan, what's up? He said first hashtag Craig can't beat me. And he said also, how could I not mock draft with you guys knowing Scott's the promo picture? Yeah, it's a trick on our part. We put his handsome face up on there just to draw people into the stream.
Yeah,
we got
even
Scott.
Ask permission.
We got Scott in the chat. Said, "Hey, Jordan, just jumped in on this. Another fishbowl mock. Let's go. Yeah, we're ready. We're getting hyped up for fishbowl right here." And Alex said, "Man, should have gotten into this draft. It is loaded." And it looks like the draft is full. Dame, what's up? Welcome. Dame, glad to have you.
And I see Dame in this mock draft.
Man, now we're in trouble. Dame always killing it. We got Davis in here. What's up, Davis? He said, "Hey, daddies, I'm working and lurking at the moment."
Working and lurking.
Davis, it's amazing now. Every time you come in here, you get the same like giggly reaction from me. Just a little bit of like pure like mischievous joy I feel whenever you sneak into
your
the chat.
boyish perversion.
And Alex saying can't have too much hand motion. Can't happen. Yeah, we gotta save some of that hand motion. Marty, what's up, my man? Welcome.
Marty.
Glad to have you here. And Swamp said at work, I cry. So is this dynasty or redraft? Scott Fishbowl's redraft, and we will get into all of the scoring settings very shortly. I'm going to explain how all of that works. Just before we do that, a couple of reminders. Number one, if you are not already following our guest Pierre over on Twitter, go and remedy that right this instance. He's on Twitter at PWE31. That is PWEE31. It is right there below his face on the screen, so make sure you go over there and follow him. After you do that, if you're watching this, that means you're most likely already on our YouTube channel. Hit that like button on this video and make sure you subscribe to Front Yard Fantasy. There's a big red subscribe button. Just click it. It's in the game. That's all you got to know. Hit that button because it's in the game. Scott wants to know, Josh, are you ready to lose?
I am so ready to lose. I can't lose. I'm not in the mock draft today, but I will be commentating. And Scott, I'll let you know if you lost. I could definitely do that.
Ooh,
keep an eye on your team. Let's see if you know how to draft mock draft Scott Fishbowl. We'll see.
And Joey Simon just got done filming his cameo on Stranger Things where he delivers a pizza to a Demogorgon. Yeah, you know, this shirt is like straight out of it's the 90s, maybe slightly wrong decade right there, but it kind of looks like it.
It's 100% what you look like, Simon.
Is it?
You nailed
Full
it.
Accuracy?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's you belong in that decade.
The matching with the hat and the shirt, sort of, not quite, but sort of trying to.
That shirt looks like it belongs in the 80s.
Well, you missed this
maroon with a teal with the
it says Simon.
Simone. It says my name on it.
Yeah,
Simone.
Is that custom
like a
or did you
find that or something?
Yeah.
So, Bell South, their first PDA, their first personal electronic device or whatever the hell the PDA stands for, like the precursor to the smartphone, was called.
Oh, the PDA. Okay.
Yeah, was called the Simon. They named it the Simon, and this shirt was a promotional shirt. No, I wasn't named after the PDA, but I was born shortly after my dad worked on a project involving the Simon PDA. So
you were named after the PDA.
I was named after a Bell South product from the early 90s, 100%. That's what we got going on right here. We got Z2 in here saying another draft, another team Z2 may or may not like. Those are the two options right there. And Calvin, what's up? He said, as a San Antonian, digging the hat, Simon. I'm down here in San Antonio as well.
San Antonio meetup.
Yeah, let's go.
And Twin said PDA
that made me
personal
laugh.
Electronic device.
Definitely. It makes it adds up. Adds up. The P matches.
PDA.
Check
everything checks out, right. What you didn't realize is it's P-E-D-A. ED being electronic device, and then the A is silent in the acronym.
Electronic
actually.
Is silent.
Yeah, it's 100% silent. Guys, let's go ahead and pull this mock draft board up here. Josh is not drafting with us today. He is going to be commentating for us, asking us questions, maybe diving into some strategy talks about Scott Fishbowl while we go through this. Before we start with our mock draft, though, I wanted to explain to everybody how Scott Fishbowl works, because the scoring settings are quite a bit different than what we are used to.
Got to know the scoring settings in Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah,
it might not make sense if you don't.
It changes everything. So let's start with quarterbacks because, let's start with the roster construction first on how this is going to work. So in Scott Fishbowl, the roster construction is as follows. You can start 1 to 2 quarterbacks, 2 to 6 running backs, 3 to 7 wide receivers, 1 to 5 tight ends, and 0 to 4 kickers for 11 total. What this is going to look like on your roster, though, is 1 quarterback spot, 2 running back spots, 3 wide receiver spots, no tight end spots. There's not going to be a single dedicated tight end spot. Then on your MFL league, there are going to be 3 flex spots and 1 super flex spot that are allocated there. Now, if you're playing on sleeper like we are here, the number of flex spots is going to be decreased to 2, and there will be a 3rd super flex spot along with a kicker spot. You're going to be required to play a kicker if you are in a Scott Fishbowl draft that's on sleeper. But in that regular one, it's going to be 3 flex and 1 super flex spot. Now, where the scoring gets different here is quarterbacks are the big one. There are some other things. It's going to be 6 point per passing touchdown, which is usually the standard is 4, but 6 isn't unheard of. A lot of you guys have probably played in 6 point per passing touchdown leagues. Now, if you throw an interception, it is -4 points. So quarterbacks are heavily penalized for interceptions. And then there is a bonus or a punishment for your completion percentage based on how many passes you complete. You're going to get half a point per completion and -1 point per incompletion. So quarterbacks that complete 2/3 or more of their passes will have positive points added to their score after the end of the game. If they complete fewer than 2/3 of their passes, it will be a negative on their score. So accuracy of your quarterback matters here. Now, the other big changes is there's going to be half a point per first down, rushing and receiving. So this could help your quarterbacks as well. Your rushing quarterbacks that are maybe viewed as less accurate are going to get half a point per rushing first down as well, as long as all receivers, tight ends, and running backs that get those first downs will get half a point. Then the last big scoring changes for tight ends, there is going to be an extra half point per first down and half point per reception. So this is tight end premium in more than one way. Tight ends are going to get 1.5 points per reception compared to 1 for everybody else, and 1.5 points per first down 1 point per first down compared to 0.5 for everybody else. And I think that's all the big changes. Anything I'm missing, guys? Oh,
I think
kickers.
Colin mentioned it in the chat. I think you have to start a tight end every week.
According to the Scott Fishbowl website, it says 0 to 4 tight ends.
0 to 4?
Oh wait, no. It is 1 to 5. I was looking at kickers.
Okay.
You are wrong.
I am wrong. Colin, you're 100% correct. I was reading that incorrectly. Good job. There is a tight end spot. And I knew that. I don't know what I was thinking there. Just read the website wrong.
I was like, why am I drafting Kelsey in the first round if there's not a tight end spot?
There is a tight end spot, and there are those heavy tight end premiums. It might still be worth it
because of the heavy tight end premium.
Yeah. The last thing to mention here, though, is that kickers are in Scott Fishbowl for the 2nd year in a row, but this year the scoring's a little bit different. There will be no negatives. You get 1 point for a made field goal, 1 point for a made extra point, and then decimal scoring for the yardage of the field goal. So if you make a 50-yard field goal, you're going to get 1 point for making it, and then 5 additional points for it being 50 yards, 5.0 for a total of 6 points for that field goal. You guys ready?
Might be worth it. They might be worth it. That's all.
They might be worth it. They might be worth it.
So are we making people draft kickers in this draft? No.
Kickers are on the roster so that you can draft them if you want to, but you do not have to draft a kicker.
Cool.
Also, guys, this draft is much shorter than a regular Scott Fishbowl draft. Would be only 13 rounds, but a regular Scott Fishbowl draft will be 9 additional rounds.
Have to do it for time. Doing it for you guys.
Josh, you ready to get started?
I'm ready to get started. Let's start this clock and get going. We have done it 13 at the 101 spot. Let's see where this goes, guys. Draft is starting now. Minute per pick for everyone. We have Kason in here. Let's answer this real fast, guys.
Wow.
And you, JL. What? When do you think I should start my league? Closer to the season, just in case more trades happen, right? What kind of league is it? Is it a redraft league? Is it a dynasty league? If it's a dynasty league, go ahead and get that thing started. I'm all about just doing a dynasty league. Things are going to happen throughout the season and throughout the years in the dynasty league. You know, you have your rookie draft already by now in a lot of dynasty leagues. So I say, why not? In a redraft league, I do like to wait until mid to late August to have my drafts. What do you think, Simon?
I agree. Josh, are those noises coming through your computer?
Yeah, let me turn that off.
Okay, just I was like, I started closing all of my windows and I was like, where the hell is that
You're
coming
moving, guys.
I've never seen it come through.
6 picks already happened.
No, I mostly agree with you, Josh. If it's redraft, If it's redraft, I'm trying to do it as close to the season as possible. Probably, maybe, I want as much information as possible because you're not holding those players forever. And like a preseason injury matters a lot more in redraft than it does in dynasty. Yeah. So I'm probably redraft going as close to the season as I can.
Absolutely. Anyone disagree?
Hey, I want to toss in one.
Go ahead.
So, third round reversal. Did we touch on that?
Oh, that is a great point, Pierre. We did
not
not touch on that.
Very good point.
Good point.
So for everyone,
third round reversal, you can have it.
You got it, Pierre.
I'm just saying, in the third round, it's a third round reversal here in the Scott Fish Bowl. So versus it, going back to the 1 spot, it's actually going to jump back to the 12 spot. We'll have the first pick in the third round. So just note there is a 3RR aspect to the Scott Fish Bowl draft as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So after we get through the second round, instead of the 212 having the next pick, it's going to flip all the way back to whoever had the 112 and the 201. They're going to get the first pick in the third round. All right. So it's kind of a difficult thing to explain, isn't it? Without just like visualizing it.
Last year I drafted from the 12 and I loved the third round reversal. This year I'm drafting from the 2 in the actual draft. And so all the mock drafts, it makes all those weights at the beginning. Like I'm drafting on the end. So you expect to have 2 picks close to each other. It's not until the 4th and 5th round that you actually get to like kind of experience the turn, really. Right? Because in the first round, it's going the wrong way. Then in the second round, it goes back to the beginning.
I would say that the person with the 101 pick experiences a turn, but like an Uber turn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they have the 212 and then they have the I guess not quite, They have like a turn. They have a double-digit rounds to wait, right? Am I right? No, not quite. I lied to you guys.
That's why I like being in the middle. You don't have the weight and as big as the impact. So I'm there at 6. I feel like that's a nice soft landing to be in with the reversal.
It's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, wow. I did not expect this to happen.
Someone there you weren't expecting to be able to grab?
To multiple people. I don't know what to do now.
Okay.
I would take one of them.
I'm going to take
one
I want.
Since multiple of them are there, you could have taken none of them.
Ja'Marr Chase.
Just so everyone knows, there are no trades in the Scott Fish Bowl at all throughout the season.
No trades.
So there's not going to be any trades during the mid-draft.
If you want to trade, get out of here.
During the season. So you got to build this team the way you want it right off the bat. So the draft is even more important because the rosters are so deep as well.
You're going to have to get all your fun from the draft and the waiver wire because there's no trading in this league, right, Josh? No additional fun added there. All the fun comes from this.
I know, but I understand the no trades with a tournament pool this big and this important. You don't want any people getting weird, right? Okay, let's get into some of these picks. Pierre, I know you're about to be on the clock, so I don't want to come to you quite yet. But JL, you have made 2 picks. You have drafted Kyler Murray and Ja'Marr Chase with your first 2 picks. I think this is a great start to the draft.
Thank you, my good friend.
Scott Fish Bowl. Keep in mind that you get a rushing yard. You get a half point for each rushing first down, Kyler Murray likes to run a lot, so he's going to be even more valuable, right, Jo?
Yep, that's exactly why I took him.
Yep.
I was hoping Lamar or Kyler would come back to me. Either one. Actually, any of those three that went right in that from Dame and then Gary and then me, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, any of those guys came back to me. I was taking them.
Shoot, Z2, you son of a gun.
So you were definitely looking for a quarterback with your first pick, huh, Jo?
Yes. Yeah, I was.
Because they're so uber valuable. I think we're going to, as you can already see from the draft so far, quarterbacks are flying off the board in the Scott Fish Bowl. If you want a top tier quarterback, you got to draft them early. You got to draft them in the first 2, maybe 3 rounds if you get a little bit lucky, but you can maybe find value on other positions at the same time. Because as you can see, only 4 wide receivers have been drafted and 3 running backs. Pierre, you started off your draft with Christian McCaffrey and Aaron Rodgers. I also love that start. Christian McCaffrey, if he's healthy all season, he could easily be the highest scoring person in Scott Fish Bowl. I think he probably will be.
Yeah, that's it. You want upside is the thing. So I think last year I took Kelsey in this spot and McCaffrey went right before me, which was kind of a blessing in disguise given that he couldn't stay healthy. But if he can, you definitely want that upside. We saw what Taylor did. We saw guys like Cup. So I'm more in the ballpark to kind of get offensive weapons in that first round if you can. And then I try to come back with a quarterback in round 2 or round 3 personally.
Like we kind of mentioned, accuracy is super important in Scott Fish Bowl. I think if you're over 66.6 completion percentage for any game, you get an additional points. And then you get -1 for every incompletion. -1 point for every incompletion. That's pretty nuts. You do get a half point for every completion, but you got to have an accurate quarterback in Scott Fish Bowl. Simon, I hear you saying some shoots over there. Were you sniped?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts almost snuck all the way back to me. A Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts start would have been just like, it would have been so sexy, but it was robbed. But I'm still fairly happy with my start with Austin Eckler was my plan. That's who I was planning on drafting here. It wasn't until it got close to my pick that I started getting excited about the fact that Jalen Hurts might make it to me. He did not. I'm still very happy with this start. I
would have been pumped to get Jalen Hurts at the end of the second round in this kind of format.
Personally. That would have been nuts. Yeah, that would have been absolutely nuts.
I've seen some mocks, and he can go like as early as the first round.
Good, personally,
you don't think he's good?
He scores points every week, but I just don't think he's good. But I mean, he makes me look like a fish, like I said, every week because he's going to rush in 2 touchdowns, take it from Miles Sanders. But as a quarterback, I don't think he's a good quarterback.
And that's fine. You're on the clock, by the way, Pierre. I would love to get more from you on this, but I want to make sure you don't miss this pick as well at the same time.
I got it in, but I mean, I don't think he's accurate. I feel like he's an inaccurate quarterback. I thought that was the case in Oklahoma and Alabama. But his rushing upside's kind of what gets him there each weekend. Even last year, a lot of that took place in some garbage time situations where he was awful, maybe for the first half, 3 quarters. Fourth quarter comes around, teams go in the prevent. He's able to kind of rush with his legs a bit. Again, vulture a couple touchdowns from the running backs down in the red zone. And so just for me personally, I'm not a big Hurts fan, but his stats say otherwise. Like he's going to score, he's going to rush, he's going to get into the end zone. I just don't think he's a good actual quarterback.
I mean, that's the whole problem that I think everyone has with Jalen Hurts, if anyone has a problem. Like, he's a better fantasy player than he is a real-life quarterback. I think most people are going to agree with you there. I talked to plenty of Philadelphia Eagles fans that don't like Hurts at all, and they're the ones watching the games every week, right? Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, they're putting weapons around him. They're setting him up for success this year, right? You can agree there at least.
I can. I mean, A.J. Brown, big acquisition. You expect Devontae Smith to take that next step. So that's definitely the case, but will he be able to get them the ball is going to be the follow-up question.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And again, to your point, 61.3 completion percentage last year. That's not exactly what you're looking for when it comes to Scott Fish Bowl, but he does have the rushing upside, which you are looking for. So there's plus. He is going to have to take the next step this year to be worth this spot, though.
I agree. I took Carson Wentz last year, so I really can't say anything about her. So.
But if we're just showing, again, you can see the value of quarterbacks is immense in the Scott Fish Bowl. Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr in the 3rd round. We're seeing a little bit drop off of quarterbacks, but so many went in the first 3 rounds, right, guys? JL, you ended up with Joe Mixon in the third round. Jamar Chase, as you can see, the third round reversal helped JL out a little bit there. I like getting Joe Mixon there. You happy about him?
Yeah, I was going back and forth between him and Henry. Right after I made the pick, I kind of wish I went Henry, but I'm still happy with Joe Mixon.
I would have gone Henry, but I don't blame you for going Mixon either.
I think I would have gone Henry if this is the real thing. If I was fully in tuned here, I think I would have gone Henry. But that was interesting, and I like that's why we mock, right?
Exactly. I think with Derrick Henry, for instance, like maybe he's going to be 28 years old, I think, this year. So maybe there's some decline in play. But if anything we've learned from Derrick Henry, when he's on the field playing, he is an elite. He's a game changer.
Insanely good. If
he stays healthy all season, he could be a Scott Fishbowl winner in the third round. You know what I'm saying? So that's what leans me towards Henry. Is Joe Mixon safer? Probably a little bit safer, right?
Definitely does not have the explosive upside that Derrick Henry has. Yeah, absolutely agree with you.
How about you, Pierre? Who would you take, Joe Mixon or Derrick Henry?
I'm taking the king. Being a Colts fan, I see what he does like week after week, and he torches us, he torches others. You expect him to work out at some point, I would assume, but he's such a hoss that you can't predict that he's going to wear down. You just got to continue to roll with him until the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
here, I'm with you. I tried predicting when the wheels were going to fall off a couple times, and that's a fool's game. I'm done playing it. I'm just going to I'm going to draft him every single year until he just doesn't, is how I'm treating Derrick Henry at this point. You gotta.
You see his workouts. He's like huge. Like he's in shape in the off season. Like you see some guys,
his workouts are nuts,
out of shape, but they're insane. I'm like, I'd like break something just trying to do a push up with a weight on my arm or something like that.
Like he's got to pay his trainers a lot of money. I'm sure the Titans are paying a lot, but like those workouts are insane. They're just setting him up. Like I can only imagine. Like I wouldn't even know how to set up his workouts. Like with all the bands and everything he's using, it's crazy. But like you said, he's very in shape. Simon.
Maybe my thing is just stuck. My draft wasn't updating.
You are on the clock right now, so I hope you know that. You have about 10 seconds left.
Can you pause it then?
I can pause it.
I'm sorry. Mine was saying that it was stuck on Z2.
Yeah, no, Z2 drafted a little while ago. He took Darren Waller.
It said time's up. I was stuck on a time's up thing.
Is it say you're on the clock now?
Just so you're aware, I don't know what it is. My sleeper app will do that also, where it looks like it's picks away from me and I'm actually on the clock. So I kind of just force quit my app every once in a while and come back in.
Bring it back. Oh shit! I got 5 seconds. Okay, can you just give me?
Yeah. I thought it was going to restart your clock.
It used to do that, but whenever Sleeper updated recently, it took that out. Like it used to be pause it, restart it starts the timer over. Now it doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah. So Simon, we were talking a little bit about like quarterbacks we like for Scott Fishbowl, and you like Tua Tagovailoa, and you missed out on Jalen Hurts in the second round, but getting Tua in the fourth round must feel pretty good.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Tua
was one of.
Can you give me Breece Hall?
Yeah, I can give you Breece Hall. Oh, Breece Hall, hey, you're about Breece Hall this year.
Sure, let's try it out. See where it goes.
Breece Hall is now on JL's team. Everybody, get ready for it.
Sorry about the hiccup.
So you think Michael Carter is just going to disappear?
Was he? I guess he put it.
I think he'll be marginalized. I think his workload will be marginalized for sure.
Okay. I thought he was pretty good when he was healthy last year.
I thought he was too.
I'm curious what that dynamic's going to be, because when you think about Salah and the 49er way, like they're running back by committee a lot. So I was curious if we thought that might happen, or if it's actually going to be the Breece Hall backfield.
Yeah. I think it'll mostly be Breece Hall. I think we're probably going to be seeing like a 75-25 split would be my guess.
I think the thing that gives me, I'm not drafting a lot of Breece Hall this year just because he's going a little bit too high for me for a rookie running back in the Jets offense, even if we think it's going to be improved. But what gives me more confidence than not with him is his skill set. He's got that pass catching skill set as well. And arguably better pedigree pass catcher than Michael Carter was coming out of college. So this skill set that was what gave Michael Carter his value last year is something that Breece Hall supposedly does better. Know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times we see these backs come in and it's like, oh, he'll be the first and second down back, but we've got this established third down guy who's a better pass catcher. I'm not convinced Michael Carter's the better pass catcher out of those two. And I think
we
Brees
can
might
argue
steal that
about
work.
it all day, Simon. But Brees Hall is the better pass catcher. I in my opinion, you said
we got to see it in the NFL.
I'm willing to just say it. I'm going to say it. All right, he's a better pass catcher, and he's just so much more explosive. What was Michael Carter? He was like a 5th round pick in the NFL draft, and yeah, he was good last year. He was good, not great. I think Brees Hall is running away with this job. I think he's getting the majority of the workload when it comes down to it. I agree. Now, what that ends up being,
we will see.
Zach Wilson led team
to be determined.
TBD. Pierre, DK Metcalf in the 5th round. How you feeling about that pick?
Woo-wee.
I like him, regardless of the situation. So you look at what Geno did the few games that Russell Wilson was hurt. And Tyler Lockett kind of got phased out with kind of under center. If they bring in Baker, I think Baker's going to, try to target his big guy, which is Metcalf. And if it's Drew Lock, then I'm going to regret that pick. But we'll see. I like him. He's talented. He's fast. He's big. So big plays. Again, I like upside in a Scott Fishbowl. So I'm trying to get guys that can have 2-3 touchdown type games.
I'm glad you said that, Pierre, because I completely agree. Like, if you're going to win Scott Fishbowl, you got to have upside guys, and they got to hit, when it comes down to it. Like, you got to get a little bit lucky to win a tournament with 3,000 people in it, right?
Yeah, like I hit on Debo this past year, and that was a really nice safety blanket into the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
getting Debo super late.
Tim hit on Cordero Patterson for me super late last year. I was someplace without cell signal.
Tim and I picked Patterson.
I was somewhere with no cell reception in the mountains of Mexico, and I was like, "You guys are responsible for this pick." And I get back where cell reception was, and I was like, "Why the hell did these guys throw away, just light that pick on fire with Cordero Patterson?"
That was fun. We got to draft your team.
You saved my team last year.
I forgot about that.
Speak about Debo. Z2's coming in and saying, give me those extra half points for rushing and receiving first downs with Debo. And that's a great point. Like in Scott Fishbowl format, if Debo's running as much as he did last year, getting all these first downs, he's their safety blanket.
Do we think he will?
A really good score. I think they're going to run him a lot less. I mean, he's been complaining about it. Are they going to run him? Yeah, he was so freaking good last year as a runner. Like they got to run him a little bit. Not quite as much as last year, maybe, though.
Oh, swamp your butt.
Oh, swamp your butt. Swampy butt.
You looking for Justin Fields, Jail?
It's open.
Yeah. Well, Swamp needed a quarterback there. And getting Justin Fields in the 6th when you don't wait and when we go Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Swift, Alvin Kamara, who might be facing a 6-game suspension, a little scary, and Ezekiel Elliott. But yeah, look, he's got 2 running backs that they're going to get him through that hump of that Alvin Kamara hump, right?
He's fine even if Alvin Kamara is suspended 6 games.
But
Swamp, this is a sneaky good build so far.
The playoffs start after what? Is it 13, 12? So, I mean, it happens early. So, missing those 6 games, I know he has other 2, running backs there, but sometimes that suspended guy, you can't wait because if you start off slow, you're screwed. With how quickly the playoffs come around.
Yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword though, right? Because like in a format like this where there's thousands of teams, you need some riskier moves that'll differentiate you from the pack. And then Alvin Kamara early, if you can somehow navigate through those 6 weeks, come out, still make the playoffs and have a Alvin Kamara unsuspended on your team going into those, that's the kind of move that could knock you out of the playoffs or help you win the Scott Fishbowl. There's serious downside to it, like league losing downside. But I'm a lot more okay with draft picks like that early in leagues like this where you're competing against thousands of other people, and you got to take risks.
To your point, Simon, Alvin Kamara is projected to be my 6th overall running back. That's him projected for 17 games. I'm just bringing up the point because I agree. I think he's going to be great when he's playing. If you spend 6 games, that's a lot of production to lose.
In addition, so not only the 6 games, but I mean, he's going to have to get into game shape. And I don't know, it's tough. You see guys like hold out in camps, etc. Like they tend to have slow starts. So if he does come back, week 7, then all of a sudden it takes him another, 2 to 3 weeks to get going. All of a sudden it's playoff time. But I understand. I get it. We saw it though with Michael Thomas, different situation. Yeah, but a lot of folks took him, last year and come back. It wasn't a suspension type thing, but those are just the risks that some people have to take.
Yeah, 100%. That's the flip side of that. It can go terribly wrong. This isn't me saying like do it and it'll win you Scott Fishbowl. It could help you win, but like you said, Pierre, there's a chance it just ruins you. You just lose because of it. You can never recover from throwing away that draft pick, especially without trades in this league.
And that waiver wire is tough. Like you don't spend the fab on the right person, and you're out of luck because
it's like dynasty league tough, you know. Like it, but it's a redraft. It's only 1 year, so. It's very tough.
What's up, Craig? Welcome in. Happy mock draft Monday. Glad to have you in here. And Scott wanted to know. Z2 likes his team so far.
He's going to screw it up, though, if we know anything. I was actually just looking at Scott's team here. And, Scott, I really like your team. Obviously, your wide receivers are studly. I go to the rest of your team. Tom Brady, I love that in the mid-second round. He's going to be accurate as all hell, right? That's what you're looking for in Scott Fishbowl. He was one of the top 10 scorers, I believe, last year. Now, I look at your second quarterback, Jared Goff. Obviously, I don't love Jared Goff. I think he could have an improved season. He passes a lot. I'm not sure about his completion percentage. I actually probably lean Ryan Tannehill over Jared Goff, who I see went right behind JL picked. And then Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams as a talent. But in this offense where Russell Wilson, he's not really known for throwing to the running back very much. And then you have Melvin Gordon just for 1 year. Dynasty, I love Javonte Williams. Redraft, I probably would take Ezekiel Elliott ahead of him, but again, I'm nitpicking here. I actually like the team you're putting together, Scott. I really do. I'm nitpicking.
Yeah, I'm with you though on Zeke over Javonte and redraft, and it's clearly Zeke for me, but also in Dynasty, clearly Javonte over Zeke for me in Dynasty as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that completely sums it up. So are you losing so far? No, I think you're actually building a pretty solid team. I like coming back with Damian Harris there. You needed another running back to add into that room, and they're starting to dry up right there. So Damian Harris is going to get a lot of carries.
They are
starting
to dry up, aren't they?
They are.
And twice on this turn, I've tried to play the game where there was a running back that I wanted and a different player, and I was like, well, I think the running back will make it back to me. And twice I've lost with Aaron Jones and Travis Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
Were the backs that I wanted coming back to me.
But your backs are good, Simon. I'm happy and Josh Jacobs.
I'm thrilled with it.
Yeah, Simon. This feels like your type of team that you've drafted here.
I like your team, Simon. I like your team a lot.
I am very happy with it. Now we'll get into the actual Scott Fishbowl, and it'll look nothing like this, and I'm going to be completely devastated. But I'm thrilled with how it's coming together so far. I got the later fourth round quarterback that I was telling you about before the draft started, Josh and Tua. That was the guy I was targeting. He got back to me there in the fourth round. And then the receivers, Mike Evans and Michael Pittman, I like a lot both this year. They're both top 12 guys for me. Mike Evans being a top 5 guy. And it is my pick.
Those running backs.
Wow, look at that run.
That's crazy.
I mean, like we said, they're drying up, and maybe that kind of noted to some people. It's like, I got to get my running back right now, because after these guys, we're starting to get into not the starter on their team type running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they earn the role at some point in the season. There's a couple of guys that could do that, but then there's a lot of guys that are just literally the second running back on their team, the Tony Pollards of the world, the Kareem Hunts. Has he got drafted yet? So, you know, I'm not saying I don't like those guys. It's just, I do like having 2 guys that are going to be getting a decent amount of carries every week, right?
Yeah.
The bright side, you only have to start 2.
Yes.
Whereas with receivers, you have to start 3. So that's kind of went to my strategy a bit. Try to go get your 3 stud receivers if you can, and at least get 1 running back. But that second one can fluctuate because, you know, guys can go down. You can get your Elijah Mitchells on waiver wire. I know folks got like Tyson Williams for like 2 weeks and were really excited last year too. So
I was excited for him as a Ravens fan for a minute there. They just stopped using him. It was kind of weird. I don't think he was doing all the like other things that like fantasy managers don't look at a lot, like blocking and just like running through the right holes. He was the most explosive running back the Ravens had last year. So I don't know.
Love that pick, Simon, by the way.
The Burks pick.
Yeah, I was considering him.
I'm usually a little bit more rookie averse, but like I said, Scott Fishbowl, I'm a lot more risk open than I am in other formats because you have to be.
So I'm
Trey Lance the next AJ Brown.
I'll kill you, Jay.
Well, I hear he's overweight with asthma, so I can relate to him quite a bit.
JL, if you wouldn't have taken Mooney, I have every reason to believe he would have made it to me right there.
He might have.
Like
how
much would
you have like
that's
needed
quite
new shorts?
Would you
Oh,
rather have Mooney or Burks?
Mooney. I would rather
Are
have
you
Mooney.
kidding me, JL? Do you know who you're talking to?
I couldn't
you
decide
kidding
between
me?
Mooney and Burks. I couldn't decide. It was
Mooney's
too difficult.
Mooney's a top 12 guy for me this upcoming year.
12 guy for Simon, JL.
I'm so glad I took him then. That makes me so happy. This is the
He's
greatest
been
day I've ever
my,
had.
I just have to like reach a little bit for Mooney. Just have to take him in like the 7th round usually, and I can get him. Oh no! Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
can you
no,
pause it,
don't
Josh?
do it.
Wait.
Oh, you did it. You're good.
Just in
Marty.
the nick of time.
I totally distracted you. That was my bad.
It's Marty's pick, though, right?
No, it's my pick.
No, it's Simon's pick.
Maybe
Yours
refresh
got
that.
It's on my
page.
screen.
I know, that's what
That's
happened
why.
to me,
That's why I got
Josh.
thrown off, Josh. Your screen said the wrong thing, but that's okay.
What is going on? Sleeper? Figure your
I told you
shot.
it happens. It happens
together.
often. It's crazy.
So I
fix
see
that.
Jordan in here in the chat a lot, talking about his team. Jordan, I gotta say, I really like your team. I will say one thing that's a little interesting to me is that you drafted 2 Denver Broncos wide receivers. I'm not saying that they both can't be successful, but
Pretty pissed he
I'm
took
just-
Judy.
yeah, you're pissed that he did.
Yeah, I wanted Judy.
yeah.
Josh,
A lot of
will you
upside with both those
grab?
guys.
Will you do a guy for me since it's not since
Yeah,
it's
I
telling me
hope-
what I got to.
Yeah, sure.
And Miles Sanders was the guy who was just picked by that person.
Okay,
so
I hope
it
that
won't be them.
happens.
Tony Pollard is the pick that I want here.
Okay. I hope that doesn't. Okay. I hope this works out. Like, okay, there we go. Okay, we're good now. Come on, sleeper. We love you. No, don't times up. Okay, I'm gonna undo this Juju Smith-Schuster pick because that's what happened last time. It screwed over Brokow. I'm sorry, sleeper is just not loving us today. Remove player. Can you? But is it gonna resume the draft and just fast forward past this? Okay, Z2, you're good now. You're good. Here we go.
Oh, we did it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just took
you
him
took
anyway.
Juju
You dingus.
And Jordan came into the chat discussing my point about him drafting both Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and said, I mean, Metcalf and Tyler Lockett worked out fairly well. I also have Russ. So he's pairing Russ with his 2 wide receivers. And if he had Russ and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett last year, it would have been just fine. I agree with you, Jordan. I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
Also, we got Scott Fish in here saying, "Jail, my wife on another 4-leaf clover today. Should I text
Yes,
it to
please. Yes, please.
you?"
Wait,
And then also
actually-
saying-
He keeps texting me 4-leaf clovers.
That's kind of cool, though.
and then
Isn't
he's
that
also
Matthew
saying-
Berry Game Changer Award winner?
That
Scott
is
Fish?
Yeah,
Matthew Berry.
this
That is
Award
Matthew Berry,
winner.
Game Changer Award winner, Scott Fish.
Just making
Sorry,
sure.
guys, you're being disrespectful. Matthew Berry, Game Changer Award winner, FSGA Humanitarian of the Year, Scott Fish.
Sorry for
is who
our
you got
disrespect.
right. Yeah.
Please forgive
Um,
us.
And Scott said also COVID. Not
would've
fun.
known?
Who knew?
Who knew?
That's
Scott,
weird.
it really
Damn
kicked
it.
my ass. I've heard it from
Gary.
all over the place, but hope you and your family all feel better soon, Scott.
It sounds like JL might have wanted Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually made me laugh. Z2 said deletes Juju, picks Juju. What a great move. I don't know if you meant to pick him that first time. I think it just auto drafted for you, but I'm glad you got the guy you wanted.
Z2 saw that Juju get auto drafted and was like, not a bad idea. It's a pretty good idea we got right there.
Someone outside of Kelsey's going to have to catch balls there. So
Yeah, I
No,
almost
seriously.
went Juju instead of Tony Pollard with my pick, just because it's an upside pick here.
I'm looking at my projections right now, and I absolutely have Juju projected for the most targets outside of Kelsey. Now I don't. He's my wide receiver 35. So that does, and that's probably right around where he got drafted, right? He has more upside than wide receiver 35. We've been talking about it throughout this draft. Upside is very important in Scott Fishbowl. If Juju hits, if Juju is even what he was earlier in his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I know he was the number 2 wide receiver behind Antonio Brown when he was doing very well. But you could think of him maybe as the number 2 receiver behind Kelsey this year with a upgrade at quarterback. If Juju hits, he's going to hit hard this year, and he's going to win people some leagues. I do believe that.
As
How
long
do you
as
feel about
him-
Juju?
I mean, I think he's talented. I think he showed that in Pittsburgh. Hopefully, he can stay away from TikTok and Jackson Mahomes there and focus on football. But I mean, if you got Mahomes throwing you the ball, you can find success. You saw like Byron Pringle, get a pretty good deal in free agency because of Mahomes. And obviously, I think we all believe that Juju's more talented than Pringle. So opportunity is really big in fantasy football. You want opportunity, and if he can stay on the field, he's going to have that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, there's some receivers that be questioned. There's Mecole Hardman, who's the only receiver that's like really coming back that we have a lot of faith in. They drafted a guy in the second round with Sky Moore. They brought in someone, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's a big, fast, deep threat. So that's why Juju isn't being drafted a lot higher. There's a lot of question marks with this wide receiving core. Simon, how does it make you feel, this wide receiver core?
I mean, very similar to Pierre, right? Someone's probably going to step up. There is a world where maybe the ball is just spread out a lot more in this offense. Nobody really takes on like that alpha wide receiver role. But if someone's going to do it in this offense, my money would be on Juju to kind of step into that top receiver role outside of Travis Kelce. Now, when it comes to like drafting these players, they're all going late enough that I think you can take your shots, but I have been drafting more of some of the other options, more of the Sky Moores, the MVSs, the Mecole Hardmans, because they're going a little bit later than Juju. And I think there's a non-0% chance that those guys kind of step into that role as well. I'll take the value.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we have a lot of love going out to Scott Fish, by the way, just in the chat. We love you, Scott. I hope you start feeling better soon. And I know a lot of people in your chat agree. Pierre, what were you saying there?
I was going to say one aspect that I think a lot of people aren't considering. I consider it being in Indianapolis and being in the Indianapolis division is everyone being in Indianapolis or in the area and taking all the Colts value that I'm aware of. I think that's going to be a new aspect. If you're not in a fictional type division, you're going to be drafting against folks in the same area that may target those homer type teams that you also target.
That's a good point.
So that's going to be interesting because I'm at 6, and for a while I've been mocking like maybe I can get Jonathan Taylor at 6 because all the quarterbacks. And then I'm like, well, probably not.
No, it's not
in the Indianapolis division, so out with that.
I'm at the 8 spot, and maybe it's if Taylor's there at the 8 spot, I'm taking him all day. That means other people are drafted in front of him. But
you're crying if he's there at the 8 spot. You're crying tears of joy.
Thank you.
Well, odds are he's gonna have a better chance of getting there for you than it is for me.
I agree. I completely agree with that. Especially it's Jonathan Taylor. It's what a lot of people believe to be a can't miss guy this year, right? And I believe that too, right? So if you mix in the hometown love for him and just who he is, he's gonna get drafted early. There's no doubt.
That's gonna be fun with Cincinnati too. I've been thinking about like the Cincinnati area because you got so much talent on the Bengals with Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Mixon. Is that division just all going to be reaching for those guys early on that could cause some others to drop? So those are things that run through my mind.
It's a good point. No, it's a great point, actually. I love that. I love that.
What to do?
You're on the clock, Simon, and he goes with Allen Lazard. I think a conversation very similar to, let's say, Juju Smith-Schuster and all the receiving weapons there can be made for Allen Lazard, except there's no Travis Kelce on the Packers, is there, Simon? There is an Aaron Jones and an A.J. Dillon, but who's going to be catching passes from Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame Aaron Rodgers here?
Probably Allen Lazard. The guy on the team that's got his trust, scored, 8 touchdowns last year from Allen Lazard. Now, I'm not expecting his yardage numbers to be crazy high. He's not that kind of receiver, but he could hit that double-digit touchdown mark with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to him this year, no problem, and I'll take that in the 8th round or 9th round.
Yeah. Or 10th round.
Or 10th round. Yeah, I probably could have gotten him in the 10th. I don't know, but with Robert Woods and Kenny Golladay going, they might have been targeting a Lazard right there.
And Simon's back on the clock now. Hey, Pierre, I got to mention, you got TJ Hawkinson in the 8th round. I think that's good value. I have Schultz and Hawkinson like neck and neck, but just considering that George Kittle and Darren Waller 4th and 5th round guys, wait the 8th round, get TJ Hawkinson. I'm all about that.
Yeah, I mean, tight end premium. You look at the talent. Talent was there. Obviously, he got hurt a bit last year, and he was really tight end 5, I think, in a lot of projections.
He was very good when he was playing. When he was on the field, he's getting a ton of targets.
And so, if he's healthy, you got to expect him to do better. And you got other targets there now that can maybe take some attention off him. Amon Brown kind of came out a bit, and got Jameson Williams in the draft whenever he's back and healthy. So could open up some things for Hawk.
I think they signed DJ Chark as well. So, yeah, there's DeAndre Swift's going to be back. Yeah, it's just they got a lot of weapons all of a sudden. Let's go Lions. Maybe that means Jared Goff is a better pick than I'm even realizing right now. You know?
I mean, the Lions last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were like the team that lost the most one possession games, right? Like they had a horrible record, but a lot of their games were close. Do you think this is a team that's closer to being good than people are realizing? Like this is a team that's not on the precipice of reaching 500, but of being like a winning, go to the playoffs type of team? Or no?
They're in a tough division.
Yeah. They're in a very tough division.
They have the weapons. We all love their coach. Their defense isn't bad, but it's not great. They could take that next step. It's just really, I think Jared Goff could be the problem, if not, maybe not the solution. Like maybe he's going to be good for fantasy because he's got all these weapons, and they did pass a lot last year. But like, do we believe he's the guy to take them there?
I don't think so. I'm just asking because I look at it and I look at the moves they've made. I looked at how they lost their games last year, and in reality, like I feel like I should be thinking this is a team that's primed to take a huge step forward this year. I just don't buy into it, and maybe it's Jared Goff affecting me on that front.
Yeah,
hey, Jared Goff made it to the Super Bowl.
He did. He
did. You're right. And Z2 just drafted a top 3 wide receiver in the 10th round. Nice job snagging Claypool down.
Oh, Claypool. Oh, yeah. Top 3 receiver in the NFL for sure.
Eaton Scott said, Simon, that was the Vikings 14 one possession games.
14. I bet 2 of those were for the Lions, though.
I wonder if it was one possession. And he said, you said losses. Never mind. Ooh. Yeah. So the Vikings won a bunch of those, I'm guessing. The anti-Lions.
John's coming in here saying, who do you think Russell Wilson is going to target this year the most? And that's a great question. I think, Simon, you probably lean Jerry Jeudy there, right?
I do lean Jerry Jeudy. I just like Jerry Jeudy as a route runner. I think he's the best wide receiver on that team, and I think Russell Wilson's going to target him the most accordingly. But that being said, I'm not 100% sold on that. If there was a 2-round difference between Jeudy and Sutton, I'd be taking Sutton because it would be where the value is, and I'm not we can't know for sure who's going to be that guy, but these guys are getting drafted right by each other. I've seen them go back to back in a lot of drafts. So I'll take Jeudy or wait a very long time and take Tim Patrick or KJ Hamler just to get some of the leftover value from that wide receiver core.
I actually lean Sutton in that conversation. I do think Jerry Jeudy is a better route runner. But we know Russell Wilson likes to chuck it deep as well. He likes his big guys. He likes DK Metcalf. I mean, Tyler Lockett was great, but DK Metcalf did have more targets last season when it comes down to it. I could see it going either way. I'm pretty torn between it. I would lean Sutton. JL, you're on the clock here.
Z2 had a question. Christian Kirk or Chase Claypool? Who are you guys taking? Pierre, Christian Kirk or Chase Claypool?
Claypool for me. Liked him at Notre Dame, big body, talented. Feel like he'll probably be better with Trubisky because Trubisky's arm is going to be stronger than what Big Ben had shortly before retirement. We saw Kirk. He just didn't excel like I thought he would. Like we've seen him with Kyler Murray, with a talented quarterback, with DeAndre Hopkins out. We've seen what he can do. Now I feel like he's coming to a worse situation with Trevor Lawrence and with the talent around him. So I would lean Claypool, just being, again, a bigger receiver. I feel like more athletic and in a better quarterback situation than what he had last year, whereas I feel like Kirk's in the worst one, potentially with Trevor Lawrence. I think that's a wild card situation with T-Law coming into the season.
I lean Christian Kirk simply because I think he could be the number 1 target on the team. While I think it's going to be tough for Claypool to do so with Najee Harris, like the weapons around him, maybe they open up more space. But the question, it's like Kirk or Claypool. It's close because I think Claypool can be more efficient on the targets he does receive. But I think Kirk's going to end up getting more targets. My projections have Christian Kirk scoring 25 more fantasy points over the course of the season than Chase Claypool. So I would lean Christian Kirk, but I would say that Chase Claypool probably has more upside, a little bit more upside, just because of everything that Pierre said. So, I'm kind of torn between those two myself for Scott Fishbowl draft here. I don't know which one I would lean really when it comes down to it.
I am concerned about Claypool if Kenny Pickett is the starter. is the big concern for me. Like specifically Chase Claypool for Kenny Pickett. I don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to let Kenny Pickett kind of air the ball out and let Claypool find success in that deep part of the field where he finds a lot of his mismatches. Right now, I've said Milky Trubisky so many times that Milky Trubisky just tries to leak out whenever I say his name. If Milky Trubisky is the starting quarterback, I have a lot more faith in Chase Claypool. I feel like I think they'll trust him to throw it down the field a little bit more than Kenny Pickett as a rookie, and so then Claypool bumps up a couple spots. But with not knowing, it's definitely Kirk for me. It's such a huge. I feel like it could really, really knock Claypool down a couple tiers if Pickett's starting all year for him.
Yeah.
But in a vacuum, you give them the same quarterback, give them both Milky Trubisky, or give them both Trevor Lawrence, give them both Kenny Pickett. I'm probably going Kirk.
Here, I want to get your opinion on Nyheim Hines real fast, if you don't mind. I know you're a Colts fan, and I see you just drafted him here in the 11th round. And I've heard the rumors of, or the coach speak will say, of Nyheim Hines is going to be more involved. I think, didn't their coach even say, I would draft him in fantasy?
He did, right? He did come out and say that. Mandatory OTAs, he was seen, according to the beat writers, in the slot quite a bit, as well as a pass catcher. And one of the big knocks on Carson Wentz was that he couldn't make the layups. And those layups were your dump downs to Taylor, to Hines. And the Colts' defense is one of their best weapons in the field. Obviously, they didn't really address receiver to a big extent. They went and got Pierce, in the draft. But, outside of Pittman, Pierce, you're hoping Paris Campbell can stay healthy. You gotta have playmakers, and they think Hines is a playmaker. He's shown that. They gave him a pretty good contract, a couple years ago as well. So I do think he'll be more involved in the passing game, and I don't feel like they're going to want to wear down Jonathan Taylor like they had to last year. And again, a big part of that was they just couldn't trust Carson Wentz, whereas I believe they'll be able to trust Matt Ryan. He'll be accurate. And we saw in Atlanta, we had Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson both, have a pretty good season from a pass catching standpoint as well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm higher on Nyheim Hines than I figured I would be for this upcoming season. I do think he's going to be more involved in the pass game. JL, we haven't talked to you for a minute. I like the team you're building, though. You got the 4 wide receivers.
Hi, Josh.
Chris Godwin. Who knows? There's really has not been officially a word if he's going to be missing the start of the season. Now, I think a lot of people expect that. I think a lot of people expect him to miss a couple games in the season, maybe be put on the pup list. But if he doesn't, he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, paired with one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen in NFL history.
And one of the pass happiest offense that we've seen in recent memory.
In NFL history.
Yeah.
Seriously,
very,
when it comes
very pass happy.
So
pass heavy.
I like the team you're putting together there, JL.
Thank you. Meh.
I'm just kidding.
And then he's even got 3 quarterbacks, so he can kind of feel comfortable there. He's got 3 guys that I really do expect to be the starter all year. Daniel Jones, as long as he's healthy, say what you will about him, but he's going to be the starter, right?
Value,
no one's taking his spot.
Now,
we're not going back to Glennon.
Nah.
I will say, in the best ball drafts I've been doing this year, whenever I draft Ryan Tannehill, I never feel comfortable leaving the draft with only 2 quarterbacks because of them drafting Malik Willis as well. So I like that you grabbed that 3rd guy maybe a little bit sooner than some other teams, JL, because while I believe Tannehill's the starter all year long, it wouldn't be unheard of that he gets replaced at some point this season by the rookie that they just drafted.
Yeah, it's true.
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
Going to get replaced too at some point because Tyrod Taylor finds his way on the field, regardless of where he's at. He's going to start a handful of games, so I think that's going to happen there with the Giants at some point, whether it be an injury, hopefully not. But Tyrod Taylor's going to be starting at some point. It always happens.
I do
They're
expect
not going to win a playoff game with Tyrod Taylor, though. I don't think so.
I expect this Giants offense to look different this season. And I know we say that every season.
Yeah.
But,
no Jason Garrett.
No Jason Garrett.
Did they get new jerseys or something, Joe?
I hope.
I get it look different.
They can certainly have a refresh.
Classic joke.
We're in the final round, guys. This draft has flown by. We're in the 13th round of our Scott Fishbowl mock draft here.
Oh, beautiful. And
some
he fell to me again. I've been contemplating taking him for rounds. for rounds, and he just kept falling.
Based on what Pierre said earlier, there's a world where he doesn't give away all that work.
Yeah, and I got Breece Hall, so I'm not even sweating it.
Let's say, God forbid, something happens to Breece Hall. Michael Carter is going to be a very, very useful fantasy.
That's how you balance upside and safe floor. That's
even better, JL. They could both eat into each other all season in a full committee, and you never know which one to start.
Yes, that would be worst case situation.
That would be great.
In which case, I just start both of them,
and
I just get I get the equivalent of one running back using up 2 spots, and that's
awesome. That's exactly what you want in fantasy.
Or maybe like 1.5 running backs,
Oh yeah, that's what.
And then maybe some days, not often, but maybe some days I even get 2 running backs worth out of those 2 spots. So I'm fine with that.
I like the Jahan Dotson pick there, by the way, Dame.
That's a great pick, Dame. Yeah. I hate you for making it.
Lots of upside.
I wanted Jahan Dotson.
You couldn't have even done it, JL.
Now I want to.
I want to be the only one that would have thought of it.
Yeah. Damn you, Dame.
Josh, take Jahan Dotson off of Dame's team and put him on.
All right. Sorry, Dame. I hope you don't like him that much.
Sorry.
But we're talking about upside. I didn't realize Christian Watson hadn't been picked either.
Yeah,
I was
talking about Alan Lazard.
I was debating between Watson and Lazard, or between Moore.
Pasta.
I was debating between Moore and Watson right there, but since I already had Lazard, I'm going for. If this was a normal redraft league, maybe I would have gone Watson as well, try to secure that, maybe 2 shots at the wide receiver 1. But since it's Scott Fishbowl, I'm hoping that Lazard and Moore emerge individually on each of those respective teams, not hedging my bets, just taking 2 long shots with these guys in the later rounds.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
How early are you even considering taking a kicker?
When I click through all the positions and I go, ooh, then I'm considering taking a kicker.
Okay.
But I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
There are absolutely still guys that I would be taking.
15
or 16 is where I went, I think, last year. I took Tyler Bass. So right around that range where you start getting your average skill positions. It's kind of when I'll try to take a top kicker. Sorry.
No. Don't apologize. Does the change in no negative points for kickers make you guys at all? Does that change your opinion at all or strategy at all concerning kickers in this Scott Fishbowl?
It makes, I think so. It makes it a little bit less risky.
So you're moving up those players maybe what, a round or 2 or 3?
Probably not even. No, definitely not 3. Probably a round. Now they're ahead of some of those question mark guys. The guys that are like, ooh, instead of like, ooh. Okay. Maybe they move ahead of those guys. How do you like that for analysis?
What do you think, Pierre?
Yeah, probably a round. Again, I'm just trying to target the top guys. Like I don't want your average kickers. Like you want your Tuckers, Tyler Bass,
McPherson's,
Yes,
you want those guys that can get 4 to 5 field goals in a game and really make it work for a while.
Yeah.
Also, Scott saying I treated the 12th round as the 20th round just so we could take Justin Tucker in there. You're not getting Justin Tucker in the 20th round. I'll tell you that much right now. He is going to be gone. No. Someone's going to do what you just did in this draft in the 12th round and grab Justin Tucker. You've got 12 people in your league. It just takes one person to do it.
One person.
Someone's going to do it.
I guarantee you. In every league, someone's going to do it. They're going to take a kicker early.
Look at that timing. That was beautiful.
It's unbelievable. We got through it. Scott Fishbowl makes people draft faster. I don't know what
we did not plan that at all.
It was an extra round, and we got through
it
before time ended on today's show. We absolutely killed it.
We kind of planned it, but
we try.
But we didn't do anything special.
No. Thank you to everyone that's drafting. That's you're being good drafters.
Yeah, you all
taking up the whole entire clock, and you're making good picks. I love it.
Yeah, everybody who drafted with us, thank you so much. And Pierre, thank you so much for coming on and drafting with us today, my man. It's always a pleasure streaming with you.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, you guys. Keep up the good work. Again, I love the aspect that you guys bring, the fun, the game shows, the finger bang, throwing a shocker for everybody. I just thank you all.
You know us. You know us.
Oh my God.
I love you,
guys.
Pierre.
If you are not already following Pierre, you're insane.
You're an idiot.
On here twice. Come on, go and follow him right now. He's at Pee-wee 31 right there below his very handsome face on the screen. So make sure you guys go and follow him over there.
31st Pee-wee.
He is the 31st Pee-wee. It's like the Doctor Who's. He's the 31st Pee-wee.
Interesting. I don't know if I like you guys saying it that way. Let's
finger bang. Trading makes fantasy fun.
Yeah, that is going to be it for us today. Keep your eyes peeled for a mock draft review about this Scott Fishbowl mock coming your way this week on our YouTube channel. We will be back tomorrow and every other day this week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, playing some more fantasy football game show games. Until tomorrow, though, we are out of here. Adios, everybody.
Arrivederci.
Let's go. Finger banging. Let's go.
Finger banging.
We're out. Hey.